It's tournament time once again. What's up, guys? Brunsnick's back, and I'm here to talk about the 6 bowling balls I'm taking to Baton Rouge for USBC Nationals. Now, before we get to the 6 bowling balls I'm taking with me, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and check out the crew. Membership link is in the description below. So the USBC Nationals in Baton Rouge, we're getting tidbits of information. We've seen a little bit of video. And what we know so far is that the team pattern seems to be extremely flat and very hard. Doubles and singles looks to be about the same of what we're used to seeing from year to year. But the team event is what I am really concerned about, so I focused most of my arsenal based around that. So let's talk about the no-brainer bowling balls I'm bringing with me. And that is my first purple hammer bowling ball. And this is the purple pin. Nothing special about this ball. This ball is actually going to double up as my spare ball. This ball has lane shined a little bit with I don't know how many countless games have been on this. You'll also notice this is a purple pin. So this is the 74 hardness as opposed to the 73 on the original green pin. So this ball will come into play for spares when I'm shooting spares, straighter, going cross lane, whatever I need to shoot. This ball can also come into play if I'm playing further out like I have in years past, and I need a urethane ball that is smoother on the drier lanes. If the lanes start to break down really hard and I need something that's going to be not as aggressive but control the pocket, this ball will come into play, and that's the first ball I'm taking to Baton Rouge. Now the second ball in the bag coming with me down the USBC Nationals is, what do you guess, another purple hammer. Now why on earth would I bring 2 purple hammers? Well, let me tell you. This one will be finished at 360 grit. So I'm going to go put this on the Haas machine and I'm going to resurface it with a fresh 360 so I'm ready to go. My whole idea with this ball is to putt. And if people don't know what putt means, that means purple up the twig. That means I'm going to be taking this ball and playing it as close and up the gutter as I possibly can with a lot of surface. You'll notice this has the green pin. This was the first generation that came out of the Brunswick plant. And now this is going to be my first ball out of the bag. Putt. Always remember that. This ball coming with me to Baton Rouge. All right, like I previously said, the team pattern is what's going to give me the most trouble this year, what's giving everybody the most trouble this year. So I have brought quite a few resin bowling balls that I feel like I will have a upper hand, if you will, or be better prepared for the team pattern. And they might come into play on doubles and singles just in case plan A, which is putt, doesn't go quite to plan. If I have to bail out of that and go into resin, this is where these balls are going to start. So first resin ball I'm taking is my benchmark ball, Hammerhead. This is my favorite benchmark ball that I have reviewed in the past year or two. I found the most success at the House of Pain. I feel most comfortable throwing this ball on the fresh. So if team pattern doesn't look good, I need something that's control strong, just doesn't overflare, doesn't overdo it. The Hammerhead was my pick. And another question I get is, am I drilling different ones? Are these the same exact ones from my review videos? And the answer is, these are the exact same bowling balls that I drilled for the review. Very, very rare do I ever drill a second of a single ball, unless I'm doing some sort of crazy scientific experiment that you guys will normally see on a YouTube video. So Hammerhead, this is a ball I plan to start with, maybe on team if the putting doesn't quite work on the outside. So this will be a short swing in the track area to start, break down a pattern, control the pocket, try to have something that doesn't overreact. Now surface, right now I'm going to leave it alone. It's kind of lane shine a little bit. I will touch it and adjust it there as need be. I'm not sure what I'm going to need yet, so I'm just going to leave this one alone. It's pretty nice as is. So Hammerhead, the first resin ball that's coming with me to Baton Rouge. Moving on to the 4th ball, and I always start thinking about progression in my head. Okay, what if this ball doesn't work? What if this ball does work and I need to go something that's just a little bit cleaner and a little bit more responsive down lane without being too angular? So after Hammerhead, that gives me Ebonite Turbo X. So another symmetrical ball, another solid resin ball, but this one's going to have a little bit less surface on it. This one's actually shiny right now. I'm going to leave it as is because I really like this ball. For everybody who's seen this review, A+. But this ball is going to come into play if I need something a little bit cleaner than hammerhead, and I need to get in a little bit further if the hammerhead maybe is not finishing as hard, and I need to start opening up the lane. I have confidence going a little left to right with this ball, and if the lanes get burnt, I can move even further without having too much of an issue. So Turbo X is going to be my follow-up ball to hammerhead if that one's maybe a little too lazy, or maybe it's just too early. I need something to get down the lane. Turbo X, fourth ball coming with me to Baton Rouge. And sticking with the symmetrical theme and also going into that progression one more time is what happens if the Turbo X starts to get lazy and I really need something that gets up and goes a little bit harder without being crazy, because we're still talking about USBC Nationals. We don't want anything to be completely sideways on the back end. Maybe at the very end, singles and doubles, I don't know. Find out when we get there. But the fifth ball, Super Cuda Pearl. Now, I sang the praises of this ball in my review. I really matched up really nicely with this ball, and it's always nice to have a symmetrical ball that flips on the back. Now, symmetrical balls will never be as skid flippy as asymmetric balls for me personally. That's because the hook window is going to be just a little bit longer, but the continuation is typically a lot stronger. So I feel like I'll have a little bit more versatility with symmetrical bowling balls, especially on team patterns. So we're going to see I brought a lot more bowling balls with that pattern in mind. Doubles and singles, I'm not as concerned about. I think I'll have a little bit more versatility with where I want to play in the lane. Hopefully, urethane will be in play. Hopefully, I'll be able to play urethane all 6 games, shut the brain off, and just worry about my execution like I like to do. But Super Cuda is going to come into play stronger than a Turbo X. A little bit more flare, a little bit more pop down lane, and that's what I'm hoping for. If they get burnt and I need to move left, away from the track and throw it to it, this is going to be the ball I go to. So this is the fifth ball. It's coming with me to Baton Rouge. And last but certainly not least, the bowling balls coming with me for the USBC Nationals. Finally, an asymmetric bowling ball. Normally, I take a lot more asymmetric bowling balls, but this year just wasn't in the cards, wasn't what I was feeling. But I'm going to take my favorite one, the one Reverb. One of my favorite asymmetric bowling balls. This ball handles surface quite a bit. It still has some on it from the Muskegon Masters tournament. But that tournament right there really opened my eyes to how good this bowling ball is. This ball is going to come into play if I really want to cheat left, throw it out over the middle to the dry, and have it come screaming back. If I need something that just has so much more back end than everything else in my bag, this is going to be a ball that could really stand left and throw right. Alternatively, I can also jam this one into the track with a lot more speed, maybe some loft, and less hand in the ball. So versatility is what I strive for, and that one Reverb is going to give me that asymmetric look, and it's the only asymmetric ball I'm bringing to Baton Rouge. That's it. That does it for my recap of what I'm bringing to Baton Rouge. So a lot of bowling balls I could have taken and a lot of balls I thought about bringing that just didn't make the cut. I had a plan in mind. I'm not just bringing 6 bowling balls that, hey, what am I going to do if this happens? Now this ball's brand new. I'm going to take this ball. No, those are not the thoughts I have. I have a plan in mind. So what happens if I need to play in this zone and I need to transition in? What bowling balls are going to best fit? Did a lot of research, looked back at a lot of video, and really made my decisions based on what I'm confident in. That's so important. So when you're going to tournaments, be confident in your choices. Don't just take bowling balls for the sake of filling the bag. Every ball here has a purpose, and I know when I need to use each ball. So when you have that game plan going into a tournament, especially USBC Nationals, where you have somewhat of an idea of what's happening on the lanes based on prior history. So some of the videos that come out, some of the results, people you talk to, you get an idea for what the pattern's doing, you build your arsenal off that. So if you have any questions, comments, drop me a line below. Be happy to look at them, maybe respond to a couple of them, but please subscribe. Talk to you guys on the next video, and I hope to update with large scores after the USBC tournament is over. Take care, guys.